This organization. Do you know what it's called?
Its name is Spectre.
The spectre of James Bond's past looms large over this latest installment in the billion-dollar franchise. There's old scores to be settled, characters speaking from beyond the grave, and proceedings even open with the somewhat ominous words, "The dead are alive." But while the new film neatly connects the Daniel Craig features, it never quite hits the high of predecessor Skyfall, but Spectre still delivers entertaining, if unspectacular, thrills. The dead are most definitely alive during the opening scene, with the drama taking place in Mexico City during Dia de los Muertos, and if it isn't quite the greatest of Bond's pre-credit sequences, it might just be the coolest. James strutting the streets to a toe-tapping percussive score and scaling the outside of a building in what looks like a single unbroken take. He then hunts his prey in an adrenaline-fueled chase, the scene only slightly spoiled by some dodgy CGI during the concluding punch-up in a helicopter. Then Spectre starts proper, with two storylines unfolding side by side. At home, there are changes afoot, with MI6 facing the biggest shakeup in British intelligence history. A new facility has been built, with Andrew Scott's Max Denby appointed as the head of the Joint Security Service. Denby, jokingly referred to as C, believes 007 and his like to be prehistoric, and plans to utilize centralized surveillance to turn the agency into what Ray Fiennes M calls George Orwell's worst nightmare. Meanwhile, James is still reeling from his failure to save Judi Dench's M at the end of the last film, and so when a shot of redemption rears its head, he defies M, embarking on a dangerous mission that somewhat predictably involves both beautiful women and exotic locales. It then feels like the film goes through the motions for what seems like an age, and this being the longest movie yet at a whopping 148 minutes, it pretty much is. James heads to Rome for a sequence that's filmed with sexual tension thanks to a Monica Bellucci cameo. While there, he discovers clues that send to Austria, where he meets an old foe, another beautiful woman, and picks up more clues that lead him to Tangiers, where his investigation uncovers a series of clues that send him to, well, you kinda get the picture. It does eventually lead to the discovery of shady criminal organization Spectre, and the introduction of its even shadier boss, Franz Oberhauser, who is played by double Oscar winner Christoph Waltz. His arrival is heavily hyped, the character talked about in hushed tones and initially only appearing in the shadows. But while Waltz infuses Franz with a charm and dry humor that's become his trademark, the character lacks the menace of Bond's last foe, Silver. The rest of the ensemble fares much better. Jesper Christensen's Mr. White makes a welcome return and shares a standout scene with 007, while Lea Seydoux lights up the screen as Madeleine Swan, a character who is anything but a Bond girl, challenging James, his attitudes, and his behavior at every turn. Back home, the main players seem less like MI6 and more like the Mission Impossible crew. Naomi Harris's Moneypenny becomes Bond's confidant, while Ben Whishaw facilitates his globe-trotting efforts and even takes to the field himself. But while Spectre builds to a conclusion that's designed to tie up loose ends from this film and previous, it fails to pack the emotional punch of Skyfall and Casino Royale before it. There's no lack of the spectacle and drama we've come to expect from a Bond film, but it's missing a standout action sequence that pushes you to the edge of your seat, or a moment of pure emotion to make the story fully resonate. If the rumors are to be believed, and this really is the last Bond for both director Sam Mendes and star Daniel Craig, the storyline does bring the story full circle. But while it's stylish, it lacks true substance, with Spectre a solid effort, but one that falls frustratingly short of greatness.
And finally, here we are.